Earnings season rolls on with reports from big tech giants Microsoft and Alphabet expected after the closing bell today. Yahoo Finance tech editor Dan Howley joins us now to preview what to expect. And Dan, it could be another interesting quarter for both of these companies. You have that strong dollar, you have growth slowing down. How do you see things?
Yeah, we also have, starting with Microsoft, obviously their cloud business doing well, but then there's the drop in consumer spending on the personal computer front. So that could really sting Microsoft. Let's take a look at the numbers here. We have revenue estimates coming in at $49.6 billion. That's according to the Street's consensus estimate. And then EPS, adjusted EPS, we have that coming in at $2.29. We have the productivity and business processes revenue. That's $16.12 billion. And then we have the intelligent cloud. That's going to be at $20.31 billion. These are, again, all those estimates. And then the more personal computing at $13.09 billion. That's a slight increase. So, we're starting to see the effects on Microsoft's bottom line of this kind of pullback in consumer spending on those types of devices, not just because, there's not enough on the market as there may have been during the pandemic, but because so many people purchased during the pandemic that there's no reason for them to go back out and buy computers again. Those usually last, anywhere from 3 to 5 to 7 years for some consumers. So there's really no reason for them to jump back out into the market. And then, on the Google front, we're looking at revenue ex-TAC, which is traffic acquisition cost. That's at $58.18 billion or $58.2 billion. And then we have EPS, adjusted EPS estimated at $1.36. And advertising revenue is going to be the big issue here, whether or not they're stung, similar to how we saw Snap stung when it reported last week, taking that huge plunge in their stock price after reporting those disappointing earnings. We're looking at potential revenue of $57 billion from advertising, and then cloud services at $6.61 billion. They're still being kind of worked through to try and improve those, make it one of the larger offerings on the market, still well behind Amazon and Microsoft, which are number one and number two. And then we also have the other bets at $204 million. We also had reports that Google was cutting back on some of its projects. That may be visible in some of the earnings. We'll have to see there what the CapEx looks like. So, obviously two important reports from two important companies, especially when it comes to both the cloud and the digital advertising markets.
We also got Meta up there on the screen, too. They're expected to report. You mentioned that you're going to be tracking across all of these companies where it does apply, FX, cloud, and ads. But what about the metaverse and the spending, perhaps, if I was to sum it up to that, for all of these tech companies and how that should be in focus, too?
Yeah, I think for Meta, obviously, the question is, how much did it earn as far as ad revenue? How much has it been hurt as far as ad revenue? And then how much is it continuing to spend on the metaverse project? We had Mark Zuckerberg talking at Meta Connect, basically laying out what he sees as the future of the metaverse, how the company is going to kind of build that out and the different opportunities that are available, focusing heavily on, the work environment. Obviously, Microsoft CEO Satya Nadella had made an appearance for that, and then on the gaming environment. But, there's been calls, obviously, for there to be a reduction in spending on the metaverse. And there's been reports, where the worlds that they're building just aren't exciting for customers, and that the headsets that they offer aren't something that people usually use as, months after they purchase them, unlike, a gaming console or a PC. So it'll be interesting to see what kind of the situation is like on Meta as far as what the ad revenue is, and then what that means as far as the metaverse goes and the spending there, because they have been just plowing money into it. And, they're putting this as a long-term goal, but, for now, it doesn't look like anybody's very much interested in it outside of, a few use cases that may benefit the work environment. But, for the average consumer, I don't think it's something that's really getting them going.
Yahoo Finance's Dan Howley, the tech DH, if you will, here. Dan, appreciate the time breaking down and teeing up some of these earnings reports set to come out. Appreciate it.